Now, a tip that has become very popular and which I prefer when I'm shooting pelagics because I want to keep my pole spear, or also when I'm in the Bahamas and diving deep or using the pole spear anywhere deep for that matter, is the full breakaway setup. This way, after you shoot the fish, your tip is connected with this short piece of cable and then about 12 feet of monofilament to your float line. You shoot a fish, you keep your pole spear in your hand, don't forget to hold on to it, and then you can go to the surface and fight the fish actually from your buoy. Now, to set up the tip, when you pull it out of the package, you're going to find your sub-mini ice pick tip, short piece of cable, and then a little tiny tag line. What you do is you put your tip on, you've got this little bungee keeper, which you can see there. You take the line from the slip tip, pull that bungee piece out, and put the line from the slip tip in there, and you pull that tight, and that puts tension on the rig. That way you can let go of it and the tip still stays on. Alright, now to attach it to your float line, you get to the far end of your line, take your snap swivel or your tuna clip, clip it on there, and you're ready to go. Now everybody asks, what do I do with all this extra line? You run the line down the length of the pole spear, and you'll find that there's a groove right in the back of the pole spear. You can see it right there where the band is. That keeps the line in there so it's nice and tidy. Now you're ready to cock, and what I do is I just keep the line just on the outside of my right shooting hand. So when I cock, the line is right here and I'm ready to fire. When you fire, tip goes into a fish like this, pulls out, and the tip is free. So now you have your pole spear in one hand and the tip is in the fish. You can go to the surface and fight them from your float line. Simple as that. Now, a lot of people want to rig their pole spear so they can shoot big fish, but they don't want to lose it. So we've come up with a very simple idea on how to keep your pole spear. First bit is your slip tip. The slip tip, you'll find, has a little white line on a ring that runs up and down the wire at the front, the cable. What you do is you take that white line and you tuck it in this little piece of rubber that we have, and that keeps tension on the tip so that you can keep the tip on. So then you have the back of your pole spear. And what you do is you can just take your float line, and I prefer to use a small swivel, the big swivels that they come with, and you put that line right at the base of the rubber there and run it up to the blue and then clip it on. This reinforced piece of blue rubber here protects the pole spear band. Now when I'm shooting, what I do is I put the band right there, keep the swivel just on the outside of my hand, and when I cock it, I've got all that extra line nice and slack right here, so that there's no tension when you fire the pole spear. Here you can see the same thing underwater. Put the snap swivel around the base of the band and then slide it all the way up to the reinforced blue and clip it closed. Now when you cock the band, you keep the line on the outside of your shooting hand. That way it stays clear when you fire like this. There's no tension on the line, so it doesn't slow the pole spear down at all. Now we'll rig the full breakaway setup underwater. You've got your slip tip in your hand. Take the small yellow line and pull the bungee keeper out. Put the line from the tip underneath the bungee keeper and pull it tight so you have a little bit of tension. Then take the tip and put it on the end of the spear. Now that you've got it all tight, take the line from the slip tip all the way to the back of the pole spear where you'll see this notch. You put the line in the notch, that gives you a little bit of tension, and then you can run the line up the length of the pole spear and keep it in the outside of your shooting hand so that when you fire, you have no tension. After you've fired, the slip tip will come free, the line goes away from you, and you keep your pole spear in one hand. You now can fight the fish from the surface on your buoy line. Here's another scenario. This is when you're using just the single flopper tip on the pole spear. Now, ideally you want to have very clear water for this. In case you have to let go of your pole spear, you can find it again, even when a fish will run on the bottom. Here, Aaron's looking for a couple of different fish that were in the reef, and this big hogfish comes out and he's able to shoot it. With the single flopper on the pole spear itself, you can see he immediately works his way all the way up to the fish and puts pressure on the fish so that it's pushing against the slip or against the flopper tip from behind. That way the fish doesn't have anywhere to go and is immobilized. Now once he's back up on the surface, Aaron's going to get his hands on the fish properly by getting his hands in the gills. Now, one of the challenges people seem to have with shooting a pole spear is how to get the flopper out of the fish. It's actually really easy. Figure my hand is the fish, flopper goes through and engages. Fish isn't coming off. To get it back out of the fish, what you do is you put the flopper down and get it just inside the skin of the fish like that, and then you twist the whole pole spear and it comes right out. If you don't twist the pole spear and you put the flopper in there, the flopper is going to try to open up inside of there. So by twisting it, it keeps just enough tension on it so you can kind of corkscrew it back out.